The story, filled with fantasy, begins by showcasing a town in London called Ludlow. This town became famous because it had a cemetery where only dead animals were buried. Everyone in London knew about this place, and whenever someone's beloved pets died, they would bring them here for burial. Now, we hear a narration explaining that despite this being a graveyard for animals, a little further ahead was a very large playground. However, it was said that this playground was heavily cursed. It was believed that evil had a hold over this area, and if any deceased human or animal was buried there, they would come back to life after some time. But when they came back, they would be possessed by evil powers and would be under the control of that evil. This was a common belief among the locals, and many had experimented to see if these claims were true, which indeed proved to be real. For this reason, the path leading to the evil ground was blocked off so that no one could reach it. Another belief held by the locals was that if animals were buried in the animal graveyard, their spirits would protect humans from evil. However, in modern times, many people no longer believed in this, over half considered it a mere rumor. We are then introduced to a man from the town whose son, Timmy, had returned from the war after many years. Unfortunately, he was killed in battle, and Timmy's dead body was left with his father. Timmy's father was extremely distressed and, without telling anyone, took his son's dead body straight into the evil ground. He truly wanted to bring his son back to life using evil power. Timmy's father quickly buried his son's dead body in the evil ground, and as he moved back 10 minutes later, Timmy, who had been dead, suddenly came back to life due to the evil power. He grabbed his own dog and killed it to eat it. Timmy's father was very happy about this, but now his son had become evil. Next, we are introduced to another boy named Jude in the town. Jude lived here with his mom and dad and his girlfriend. Although he had spent many years in this town. But now his father wanted Jude to start fresh with his family by moving to New York City. The truth was that Jude's father was already aware of the evil ground and believed in its existence, which is why he never wanted the devil's gaze to fall on his son or family. However, Jude's father never disclosed these details to him. He simply told him that if he went to the big city, he would dream big. Jude went to the supermarket to buy some supplies, where he happened to meet Timmy's father. It turned out that Jude was Timmy's childhood friend, so he asked Timmy's father if Timmy had returned from the army. Timmy's father replied that he had come back but did not tell Jude the real truth. In fact, Timmy's father had come to the supermarket to buy a lot of meat so he could feed his son, who had become evil. Until now, this had remained unknown to everyone. Jude would soon leave this place, so he went to watch his favorite match with his father. It was an ice hockey type game where everyone skated around on ice. Jude got busy watching the match with his father. Jude also had a friend named Ben there, but they were not talking to each other. Jude simply ignored him as if they had a bad experience together in the past. During the match, the mayor and several officers had arrived inside the stadium. The mayor looked quite troubled, as if he had some important matters to discuss. After the match, when the mayor met Jude, he was very happy for him because Jude was the first person from that town to leave and build a new life. The mayor congratulated Jude and wished him well for his new future. Jude had recently married his girlfriend, and soon after, he set off for New York City. Jude's father and mother were very sad to see their son leaving like this, but he had to go for his career. As they were driving away, they approached the area where the evil ground was very close. Suddenly, a crow flew down and crashed directly into their car, causing Jude's front mirror to shatter completely. Now they couldn't leave town this way. When Jude and his wife got out of the car to check, they saw Timmy's dog behaving very strangely. The truth was that Timmy, who had become evil, had killed the dog that same night. However, Timmy's father buried the dog underground, causing it to come back to life as an evil creature. Jude and his wife decided to take Timmy's dog back to his house to leave it there safely. They traveled a long distance while doing so. Meanwhile, we see Jude's best friend, Ben, who lived with his sister. Ben's sister made masks of various types of animals, and they planned to go into the city to sell their masks. However, Ben showed no interest in any of this, saying that he had lived in this town his whole life and wouldn't be able to leave. The two of them sat in a garden smoking cigarettes when suddenly we see that a sunflower had strange marks on it, completely covered in blood. The structure was eerily similar to that of the evil ground, perfectly circular. Ben's sister found this very strange and went to investigate. But suddenly, she slipped, falling down, and a sharp object pierced Ben's hand, causing him intense pain. Now we see Jude and his wife bringing Timmy's dog to his house. Timmy stood inside, watching them with a blank expression. Suddenly, Timmy's dog became aggressive and bit Jude's wife on the hand, not letting go and causing significant damage. Jude tried very hard to remove Timmy's dog, but it wouldn't budge. He even called out to Timmy, but Timmy didn't respond to any of this. In the end, Timmy came outside and fired a gun, causing his dog to finally let go of Jude's wife and return to the house. Timmy didn't say anything to his friend and just walked away on his own. Jude rushed to the hospital with his injured wife, and her treatment began. He realized that he wouldn't be able to return to the city for a few weeks due to his wife's treatment. Jude was completely confused about how things had unfolded and why Timmy was behaving this way. As he stepped outside the hospital, he ran into his old friend Ben, who had also come to the hospital to get his hand treated. After so many days, they started talking again, but eventually, their conversation turned into an argument, and they parted ways. Jude asked Ben about Timmy, as his behavior had changed after returning from the war. Ben didn't have much information on this either, so Jude didn't get any answers to his questions. One day, he decided to go directly to Timmy's house and was shocked to find that Timmy had killed a large animal in front of him and was eating it in a very strange manner. Jude was terrified about what to say next. Just then, Timmy's father arrived and told Timmy to go inside the house. However, Timmy's father didn't tell Jude anything and asked him to leave. Not getting any answers to his questions, Jude went straight to his father and asked him everything about what was happening with Timmy and what they were hiding from him. Jude suspected that his father was pushing him to leave the town for a deeper reason that he wasn't revealing. As Jude's mother was leaving, they noticed some bite marks on her leg, as if someone had attacked her. But Jude's father knew the truth about the evil ground, and perhaps Timmy had also been affected by it. On the other side, we see Timmy, whose condition had worsened, completely under the control of evil. He had even started to eat the rats in his house in a horrific manner. Moreover, Timmy was cutting his hand and using his blood to write the names of all the families that used to live in that town. The first family Timmy targets is Jude's, followed by the mayor and some police officers, and then Ben and his sister's family. He starts circling their names and declares that he will kill all of them, after which their dead bodies will be buried in the evil ground. To kickstart this plan, Timmy approaches a female officer and speaks to her very rudely. The female officer becomes very frightened and goes straight to her office to call the mayor. When she informs the mayor about Timmy's strange behavior, he already understands the situation because he is aware of the evil ground. He knows that Timmy is dead and that after being buried in the evil ground, he has come under the control of evil. The mayor simply tells the female officer to stay alert. However, just then, Timmy's dog appears and attacks, killing her on the spot, meaning Timmy has made his first victim. Next, we see the town mayor, who has gathered several officers for a meeting. Jude's father is also present, and shockingly, the lady officer has also arrived with visible bite marks on her face from Timmy's dog. The mayor had reached the scene just when the lady officer was attacked, and he killed the dog, saving her. Now, they just need to kill Timmy. The truth is that these people already know about the evil ground, and they have always eliminated those who were buried there to protect the town, as they would return as evil beings. This task has been carried out by their forefathers for generations, and now, in the current time, they are willing to do anything to protect the town. They decide that no matter what happens, they must kill Timmy because, for now, the devil has taken control of his body and can make him do whatever he wants. Meanwhile, Jude is shown sleeping in bed. Suddenly, Jude wakes up and sees an unknown person standing outside his window, watching him. He is very scared by this and goes straight to get his gun. He steps outside, points the gun, and shouts to know who it is, but there is no one there, only a ladder leaning against his window. Jude walks towards the street with his gun and finds a photo showing him, Ben, and Timmy together as children. However, the faces of Ben and Jude have been burned off, indicating that Timmy's next targets are these two. Suddenly, a truck speeds by Jude, trying to hit him, but he narrowly escapes and runs back into his house. Just then, Ben appears at the window, and Jude points the gun at him. Ben, terrified, says, "I'm not who you're looking for. I saw you here, so I ran over because I felt like someone was watching me too." They both decide to leave together and head straight to the church, hoping to find some answers to their questions. Meanwhile, Timmy has reached Ben's sister and immediately attacks her, stabbing her in the stomach. Although Ben's sister manages to escape, Timmy catches up with her midway and brutally kills her. Timmy takes Ben's sister's dead body and buries it in the evil ground, where she will soon come under evil's control and be brought back to life. At the church, Ben and Jude are continuously questioning a priest about what's happening in the town. The priest gives them some records that detail the history of the town and tells them that many years ago, a man named Ludlow discovered this entire area, the evil ground. He explored the entire place and called his other companions, who soon arrive. However, suddenly, they realize that their leader, Ludlow, is missing. He has disappeared under mysterious circumstances. As a result, all the companions begin their search for Ludlow. They all walk into the evil ground, where they find a man sitting. This man warns them that they should leave because this evil ground is very dangerous, and the one they are looking for may already be dead. As one man steps forward, he sees Ludlow eating the dead body of some unknown creature. As the man approaches Ludlow, he suddenly lunges at him in a terrifying manner, injuring him severely and attempting to kill him. It is the devil controlling Ludlow. When Ludlow's friends discover the truth, they reluctantly have to kill him, even though he was their friend, to eliminate the devil. However, this is not the end of the story. Ben and Jude learn from the records that this devil ground would never be quiet. It acts as a devil's belly. No matter how many dead bodies are thrown in, it will never stop. Now the devil has completely taken over Timmy, who is on a mission to eliminate the families that killed Ludlow years ago. This means that Jude, Ben, and all the people living in that town are descendants of those who had come to this town many years ago. Thus, the devil is writing the names of the families through Timmy, targeting those he wants to attack and kill. At this point, Ben and Jude understand everything. They realize that they must eliminate Timmy at all costs to stop the devil from killing. We now see Jude's father checking an old book that has been passed down through their family for generations. After reading this book, he discovers that anyone affected by the devil can only be killed by attacking their eyes. Only then can the devil release that person's body. Jude goes to his father and tells him everything he has learned about the evil ground. Consequently, Jude's father takes him to the cemetery near the devil's belly. As soon as they enter the graveyard, Jude begins to feel that the evil ground is not far from this place. In a way, they had to eliminate Timmy at all costs. Jude's father set out to gather the rest of his team members. When Ben returns home, he finds everything in disarray, with blood stains everywhere. Despite searching extensively, Ben cannot find his sister. It is then revealed that Ben's sister has ended up in the hospital where Jude's wife is admitted. When Jude's wife sees Ben's sister, her condition looks very bad because Ben's sister is already dead and under the devil's control. Ben's sister had brutally attacked the nurse and the doctor on her way. However, Jude's wife is unaware of this. She sits down with Ben's sister and starts to wipe her hands and feet. Suddenly, as she touches Ben's sister's feet, the skin begins to peel off, creating a horrifying moment. This frightens Jude's wife, and she runs away. On her way, she encounters a dead doctor, whom Ben's sister had killed. Due to her screaming, the nurses were in the labs, and Ben's sister then stabbed a nurse, splattering blood all over Jude's wife's face. Now, following the devil's orders, Ben's sister takes Jude's wife with her. After some time, when Jude arrives, he finds that his wife is missing, and there is blood written on the floor saying form. This refers to the same form where Timmy used to stay. Jude quickly gets into his car and reaches near Timmy's house, where Jude's father, the mayor, and several officers are already present. Surprisingly, Timmy's father is now with them as well, realizing he made a huge mistake and wanting his son Timmy to die. If Timmy remains alive, he will continue to kill people in this manner. They all decide to burn the house down completely. An officer begins pouring petrol around the house, while the others enter with guns to find and kill Timmy. Jude is searching for his wife, wanting to know what has happened to her, while everyone else is inside the house. But now, an officer who was in the basement was attacked by Timmy, and he was killed. Timmy also finished off the mayor. Now it was the turn of the remaining 3 people who were upstairs. Here, Jude, Jude's father, and Ben were present when Ben's sister appeared. Under the influence of the devil, she started attacking her brother Ben. Jude was about to fire at her with his gun, but Ben stopped him because she was his sister. However, this was no longer the case, as she was currently under the devil's control. Jude's father attacked Ben's sister for their protection. For a moment, they thought she was dead, but she then reappeared in front of Jude's father and plunged a gang into his body, killing him on the spot. Because of all this, Ben picked up the gun himself and shot his sister in the eye, causing her to die right there. The unfortunate part was that Jude had to lose his father. For the time being, Timmy's father was taking Ben and Jude through a lower path to the basement because there was an exit from there, but they had no idea that Timmy was still in the basement. Jude found several tunnels there, and in one of those tunnels, he discovered a locket that belonged to his wife. Jude began to think that maybe his wife was somewhere nearby, so he started checking every cave. To find Timmy, the 3 of them had separated. As Timmy's father moved forward, he saw his son in front of him and realized he had to kill him. But as he pointed the gun at him, he remembered all the little moments he had spent with his son. No matter what happened, he was still Timmy's father, and his emotions were still tied to him. But Timmy was not the same because he was being controlled by the devil. Timmy immediately attacked his father and killed him. A little later, when Ben and Jude arrived, they saw his dead body. The 2 of them quickly tried to exit, and Jude started searching for his wife. We learn that Timmy has trapped Jude's wife in a place where mud is continuously falling on her. And her mouth was also shut so she couldn't make any sound. Timmy had also entered the forest and cleverly attacked Ben first, wanting to drag him into the mud to kill him. Jude helped Ben here and severely injured Timmy. However, Timmy had trapped Ben in such a way that if he moved even a little, there would be an explosion, and Ben would be killed. Timmy then came alone to Jude and started attacking him. Jude's aim wasn't very good, so the gun bullets were missing Timmy's eyes. But Ben, whose aim was quite good, despite being trapped, fired a shot that hit Timmy's eye directly. As soon as it hit, the devil's influence on his body vanished, and he fell right there. Within a short time, Jude managed to find his wife, and they were both safe and sound. They also rescued their friend Ben and safely made their way into the town. We are then shown a scene a little while later, where Jude was living in that same town with his wife. Since his father was no longer there, Jude wanted to take his place, meaning he would also protect the entire town like the others and eliminate the evils coming out of the evil grounds. This is how our dangerous story comes to an end.